To whom it may concern, my name is Genesis Jax. Today we'll be showing everyone how to play Iida in My Hero Academia, The Strongest Hero. Iida is a speed type character, and he is also one of the strongest, if not the strongest, single target characters in the entire game. Just his rapid attacks along with high crit rate and ability power just makes him off the charts busted. We're going to start off with an overview of his skills, his talent tree, his support cards, and then we'll move into actually his playstyle. Now, to start off Iida's skills, we're going to talk about his mechanisms. Now, Iida has a dual part mechanism in the form of engine power and engine boost. The use of his basic attacks and his W increases engine power, which increases how quick his attacks are. You then use the Q to increase his engine boost, which gives him an attack speed bonus as well as crit bonus and other things that are given by his actual abilities. So your main goal when playing Iida is to get this red bar completely filled up and then use a Q, and that should increase the percentage number right here by 25%, and the blue bar should go up by an eighth of the way, since the max number goes up to 200. And if you ever lose your combo, or if you use E, it resets it back to 0. So you want to always avoid losing his combo, and you want to make sure that you only use his E when it's absolutely necessary, and we'll go over that later. Now, as for the actual skills, Iida's Q acts as a perfect dodge. It is a dodge reaction. So if someone has an ability coming in, you can use his Q as a dodge if your dodge is on cooldown. People always underestimate that as an ability, but it is extremely useful. Now, it deals 60% attack damage plus a flat amount depending on what level you have it at. It's only a 3-second cooldown, but this is his biggest use ability as it converts his engine power into engine boost. Iida's W, again, is 28% attack with a flat damage, 12-second cooldown. Doesn't seem very impressive on its face, but this ability, if all of it hits, will completely max out Iida's engine power and allow for a full Q rotation, which is very useful, especially if you happen to drop combo at some point during a fight. Now, Iida's E is tricky. You never want to use this ability until you have 200% engine boost and full engine power. And I'll explain why. So it's a 190% attack plus a flat damage. It's a 15-second cooldown. It's honestly not that long of a cooldown. It sounds a lot longer. This also converts his current engine boost by 25% to attack power. So if you have 200 engine boost, he gets 50 extra attack and 125% Q damage for 15 seconds. I mean, 12.5% Q for 15 seconds. But if your engine boost is at 200%, which is the only time you should be using E at all, the conversion rate is doubled. So now, instead of gaining 25% every time you use his Q, you're gaining 50% of his engine boost. And it's a 50% attack conversion from your engine boost into attack power. Now, Iida's quirk ability is the engine power does not change despite what abilities you use. This is extremely useful for stacking up your engine power or your engine boost in the early stages, and for making sure you get the maximum usage out of your E ability. And again, I'll explain why when we're actually going through his rotational. So at base level, Iida's crit rate is increased by 5% and crit damage by 10% when it's maxed out. His S ability is after using your E, your penetration rate is increased by your current engine boost rate. 100% engine boost increases penetration by 30% for 15 seconds. Now, engine boost is the blue one, which can go up to 200%, which is a 60% penetration increase for 15 seconds, which is, after you hit your first 200%, is constantly up. So it is a constant 60% penetration rate increase. Iida's double S is your crit rate is increased by 0.6% for every combo using the boost combo for a maximum of 20 stacks. Now again, doesn't sound very impressive on its face, but has a 12% crit rate increase essentially constantly, assuming you do not drop your combo. Because your boost combo is your basic attack ability. So every time, for every combo, increases it by that amount, by a set amount. Iida's triple S ability is your crit damage is increased by 1.5% for every combo using the boost combo for a maximum of 20 stacks. Again, not that impressive on its face, but you times that by 2, that's a 30% damage increase. Or 30% crit damage increase. And again, both these, same stack count. And again, you're going to keep that up the entire time, assuming you do not drop combo. But even if you do drop combo, it's only 20 hits. It's a very easy combo. It's a very easy thing to proc back. Now he does 2 triple S's. His first one is every combo made using the boost combo. There it comes again. Increases attack by 0.5% for 3 seconds and a maximum of 80 stacks. Again, going to keep it up the entire time. But for 80 stacks at 0.5, that is crazy. That is a 40% attack increase at max stacks. But again, it's only for 3 seconds. So even if you don't drop combo, you have the chance for this to go away because combo lasts longer than 3 seconds. His other triple S abilities, every time Q Recipro active is used, your attack is increased for 10 seconds by your current speed times 15%. Now, speed in this case is referring to your engine boost. So your 200% times 15%, essentially it's just 200 times 15. It's a really large increase every time you use your Q active, which is all the time. So that'll be it for the skill portion. Next, we're going to move on to his talent trees. Now, for Iida's talents, I'm not going to be going into every single node. I'm going to hit the major keystones and the halfway milestones. Now, as far as how to build Iida, my personal recommendation, what I have discussed with other, high-level players who are fans of Iida, recommend going his top talent tree first, his bottom talent tree second, and then his left talent tree last. Now, you're going to get all of them eventually, so it's not a huge deal if you went a different route, especially because Iida is an A-ranked free character. He usually gets maxed out within a month or 2 of playing, so most people have him maxed out. So it doesn't just, if you built him wrong, don't waste your hero coins resetting him. You'll get him there eventually. Now, the top talent tree on Iida starts with his total dedication, which is at level 2 is a 0.5% attack increase for every hit of your boost combo, which is your basic attack, for a maximum of 100 stacks for 3 seconds. Now, that's 50% attack increase at 100 stacks, which again, does not take very long to get to, but a 50% attack increase is astronomical, especially because that also affects your active card usage and your other skill abilities that use attack scales. Now, the keystone of this one is just a flat 20% attack speed increase and 15% crit damage increase, which, if you remember all his skills, crit damage is really, really nice on Iida, and the attack speed increase increases the amount that his boost combo can stack up his engine power and thus his engine speed. Next, for his bottom tree, we start off with Undying Engine. Now, this is a astronomically important talent for Iida. This is just a passive engine power increase every 5 seconds by 40 points. This makes it so you do not have to constantly build his engine power up to the full red bar every single time, because half the time it's just going to already be halfway full, which is just spectacular for usage. The keystone of this bottom tree is every hit of his basic attack deals 40% attack true damage. Now again, his attack is increased by a lot of his skills and his other talents. This is why we went this one first, because that is a 50% attack increase, and then after you add that increase, 40% of the attack is dealt as true damage. Now, if you don't know what true damage is, it's a damage that hits past the enemy's defenses. So if for some reason a hit does 10,000 damage, but the enemy has 6,000 defense, it's only going to deal 4,000 damage. True damage ignores that defense and this is additional damage. So you're going to deal that 4,000 damage, and then since you did 10,000 damage originally, 40% of that's going to go past it. So it's just going to almost put you right back up to how much he ignored, because he ignored over half of it. Next, in the final tree, we're looking at Recipro Extend Blast. This only affects his W ability, which increases the crit damage by 2.5% for a maximum of 10 stacks, which is 25%, and this lasts 15 seconds. Now, the cooldown of Recipro Extend, his W, is 12 seconds. So you have a very limited window to use it after it comes off cooldown to keep this ability active. Now, that's going to play into his rotation later. It's very important to keep in mind if you want to maximize his damage, is you pretty much have to, even if you don't need to, you have to use his W almost on cooldown. It's a very limited window. The keystone of this tree is Iida increases crit damage in proportion to 50% of his current engine boost. Engine boost is the blue bar, so the 100%, 25, 50, 200% bar. Now, the reason we go this one last, despite it being such an insane bonus, is because this is the most punishing tree if you drop combo. If you're using Iida an agency assessment or something, you are guaranteed to drop combo between pack pulls. There's almost no way that you're going to be able to keep his combo going the entire agency. And so if you drop it, this tree is the most punishing for that. Or if for some reason you make a mistake when you're doing a boss battle or something, and you drop his ability, or the first boss of forest training, when he disappears, if he disappears, you're going to drop combo. And that makes this the most punishing of the trees, which is why we recommend it last, despite it being the biggest damage increase. And so that will take care of all of Iida's talents. Next, we're going to move into his support cards. Okay, now on to support cards. Iida is a very basic attack heavy champion. So you do not want to use cards that boost skill power. So you don't want to use ones like Mustard or Hatsume. Mustard or Hatsume are completely out. Now, he also is very heavily reliant on crit damage, but his crit rate only gets boosted once or twice. So a crit rate card works very well on him, but you do not need to focus on crit damage. But your highest priority is going to be his basic attack damage, because that is where the vast majority of his damage comes from. Now, to start off with his EX cards, Iida's 2 EX cards, his flat damage card is not recommended on him at all. Unless you have it at like LB5 and have it completely maxed out, there are cards that will do better for him. So it's just not recommended to keep his other card. If you get it, try and save up for another one, and then advance fuse him into one of his piston engine cards. Now, Iida's piston engine is extremely, extremely good, but again, it is also very punishing if you drop combo. So if the card is the damage increase by 2.4% with each 10 combos, up to a maximum of 60%. To fully utilize this card, you have to have your combo at 250 or above. Now, that is a 60% damage increase, flat damage. If he's doing 10,000 DPS, he's now doing 16,000 DPS. Flat 60% damage increase. Well, again, this is LB2. At LB1, it's 40%, but it's still 250 combo is needed for it. Again, so this is extremely, extremely good card, but is also very punishing if you drop your combo. Now, as I said before, basic attacks are what make Iida Iida. So you're going to want to go with cards like Unconscious Monster, Ectoplasm, even Shoji is a good choice for him. But your priority is going to be Unconscious Monster number 1, Ectoplasm number 2. Now, for a third card, you got a little bit of wiggle room there for what you want to pick. Now, Cold Shot is always my recommendation. It's an increase of his crit rate by a significant amount when his crit damage is already self-boosted by a lot. So cards that boost that. But if you're on a budget card and you don't have six-star passives like Cold Shot, Combat Fist works extremely well. Ragdoll even works extremely well. I'm not usually recommending 4-star cards, but Ragdoll is a fantastic card to use on Iida if you do not have access to either Cold Shot or Combat Fist. So a regular Iida build would look pretty much exactly like this. As close to this as you can get. Obviously, the higher the level card, the better. There is a certain breaking point where lower cards become better. For example, a level 2 Ragdoll is going to do better than a level 2 Combat Fist, and a level 3 Ectoplasm is going to do better than a level 1 Unconscious Monster. Granted, you want both of them, but in terms of just pure damage, Ectoplasm still beats Unconscious Monster. It's a 67.5% damage attack increase versus a 36% attack increase. Unconscious Monster is only for 5 seconds, Ectoplasm is for 10 seconds. But Unconscious Monster has the Hyper Armor, which is very nice because it also significantly reduces your chance of getting stunned and dropping your combo. As far as active cards, you can go with whatever does your most damage. Mount Lady, Sidero. You can go with a grouping card like All Might. Endeavor is also very good because it groups and it gives you a 100% crit rate. Granted, it lowers your crit damage, but Iida is also self-boosted a lot to cover that crit damage loss. So whatever does the most damage specifically for you is what you're going to want in his active slot. If you're on a single target fight, Snipe is almost unbeatable unless you are talking level 3 active cards. Level 3 6-stars. Like a level 2 Mount Lady is comparable to a level 3 Snipe, and that's significantly easier to get a level 3 Snipe. So now we're going to move into his actual rotation. Okay, now for actual character usage, your main goals for Iida are to try and get to 200% engine boost as quick as possible, and then to maintain that as much as possible. It's just a repetition of building up that power and then dumping that power, building it back up and dumping it. Now, we already discussed what each of the abilities do, what the support cards do. This is just exactly what I had when I showed the support cards, this exact build. I didn't put any active cards on. This is just the pure damage from the passive cards. So to start off with, your red bar is going to be down at 0. Mine went up a little bit due to the fact of that passive skill that we talked about, that gives you 40% of that bar every 5 seconds. So it filled up pretty quickly. Now to start off with, your bar is going to be empty. It'll pretty quickly get you that first 40%, but you're always going to want to start with your W. As soon as you see the red circle around the enemy that they're within attack range, you're going to start with your W. It's going to do its full combo. By the end of that combo, your red bar will be full. Regardless of if you have that passive skill that gives you the 40% or not, a W will give you a full red bar. At that point, you're going to want to activate Iida's quirk special. This is going to lock that red bar at max. So when I activate Q next, the red bar doesn't go down, but the 25% does show up. You're going to do that 3 times before you deactivate the special, or his quirk. This will give you a 75% boost. You'll still have a full red bar, and his quirk won't go into full cooldown. If you turn off the quirk before it goes into full cooldown, it recharges faster, which is what we want. So if we go ahead and just start now, because you always want to get that first hit off, because if that hit bar is not there and you try and Q, it's not going to give you the boost. So we activate our special, we do our Q. As soon as it comes off cooldown, we Q again. As soon as it comes off cooldown, we cool again and turn off his quirk. We'd have 75% and a full bar. Q one more time, 100%. That was 100% in a matter of seconds. Q again, 125%. We're still going. There it is, 150%. We use our W as soon as possible. Q again, 175. Q final time, 200%. Now this is where people get confused. You have your 200%, now what do you do? Just keep auto-attacking? No. You have 200%, so you want to use your E now. But before you use your E, you want to activate your quirk so you keep your full red bar. So I activate my special, I use my E, I keep my full red bar, and now when I Q, it gives me 50% charge. So you can still do that 3 times before you turn off this quirk. One more time, you have your full 200% again, and it wasn't even the 15 seconds, but it wasn't even 12 seconds, and you have your full 200% again. You just keep doing that repeat. Then you turn on your quirk, E, go through your rotation again, 3 Qs, turn off your special, 4th Q, W, you're completely maxed out again. It takes about 10, 11 seconds to do. And then as soon as you get your full special, you send full bar again, quirk, E, and just keep going through that rotation. Now, some people ask, well, when do you use his ultimate? The damage loss using Iida's ultimate normally is greater than the benefit of actually using the ultimate. Even with max hero rating and you get that big attack bonus when you don't ever use your ultimate, unless you're also comboing it with Dances with Wind, it's not worth it. And you're also losing a ton of damage by even having Dances with Wind on Iida. The only time you will ever use Iida's ultimate is if you are in a timed setting and you're going to use it right before the timer expires. So if you're on like 2 seconds left, that's when you're going to want to use his ultimate. If at all possible, if for some reason there's like 10 or 11 seconds left and you know you're not going to be able to get through another full rotation, hold off on using your E until right before you use your ultimate, because it severely increases the damage of your ultimate, like to an astronomical number. For example, like right now, if I don't use his E, even with full charge and everything, if I just use his ult right now, 2.7 million. Now, if I go ahead and turn on unlimited power, and I have his ult back. Now, if I use his E beforehand and then ult, that's over a 50% damage increase, and I still have a full bar, and I still get time to get back to my full charge. The only thing is, you don't have enough time left to get all 50% charges. So there's that last charge is only going to give you 25%. Now you could also try and use your E, activate a W, use your E, and then go into ult for the extra crit that you get from your W. That's also a possibility. So you just do your W, chance the E, and then use your ultimate. So it really depends on where you're at, but you never really want to use your ultimate ability on Iida. It's almost never worth it, again, unless it's the very last couple seconds of a timed event, like for boss battle or something. So that'll be it for the rotational part of this video. Alright guys, well that will be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something. I hope this helps you out using Iida in the future. I know he's a pretty complicated champion if you just try and read his abilities, but I hope the visuals helped you out, the card suggestions, and I hope that everything works out for you. Have a good day.